Hello everyone, this is Kathy from the Daily Marker. How are you today? Today is day 8 of the 30-day coloring challenge. I want to show you how I created this. It's actually a succulent from Picket fence. I was very adventurous. I stamped this 4 times on a big piece of watercolor paper. It's a big stamp which I love. I have 4 Tombow markers. I'm going to be using primarily 3 of them. I've stamped this with 2 colors of distress ink, and I'm not even going to tell you what it is. It's in the picture, but it doesn't matter. That's the point. Just grab what you have. Okay, deep breath. Now you can see I put the marker directly on the dry paper. I put a swipe of the marker on that paper, and then I wet my brush to meet the paint that's in the marker. And then I'm dabbing it off. Well, you obviously can see what I'm doing, so I don't really need to narrate that specifically. Now, I haven't used distress ink to watercolor with in a while, and I'm kind of sorry that I haven't. It's kind of nice as a refresher to use it because I'll tell you in a minute. But so there's a detailed line on this petal here, or leaf of the succulent. So I'm using that as like a trigger to let it stand out. So keep that in mind. I want to keep some white areas on my painting. So I did not wet that skinny little area, and my brush has a nice tip on it, so I was able to do that. And then I'm wetting my brush, wiping some of that color off. That is the biggest takeaway, and I can't reiterate it enough. But you want to remove some of that color off your brush so that your petal doesn't get completely washed with that one color. That way you get a much more gradient look. To save time, I'm only going to watercolor a few of these petals for you today. But I'm doing the exact same thing. Now here I go, I'm putting that line of color down. I'm alternating, well, I'm not right now. But I will be alternating between the colors. One thing to keep in mind, I shouldn't have stamped the other images because it rubs off on my hand, it gets on the paper a little bit. So I learned that, or I could put paper down to protect it. Now notice that I have the tip of the brush on the darkest color. I'm making sure that that area all the way up to the line is covered with the paint. Then I rinse my brush off, and now I'm bringing the white area to bump up into that color. Again, so you get that gradient look. And rinsing some of that color off again because we want that lighter area. So don't be afraid to do that. I think it's the most important thing. And I already said that before, but that's how obvious it is to me, how important it is. Okay, so now I'm doing the other side of this, and I want to leave that white line. So I'm just going to be repeating this on the leaves that I share today. I wanted to tell you something. What was it? Whoops, sorry. That was loud. Oh, okay. So you'll notice that my water, because I keep dipping my brush in, that it's getting what some people might call dirtier, but the water is not clear any longer. But do not change your water. The nice thing about having a small container of water, I'm using an antique salt and pepper dish, and so it's not a lot of water. So when you dip the brush in, the water gets colored, if you will. So as you go along, the white becomes a little bit tainted, which makes it look like you're using a lot more colors than you are. So do not empty that water container out. Use that to your advantage. And you'll notice, I use very little of the blue in this. I use primarily only 3 colors, which I think is kind of amazing because there's a lot of color variation in the end product. Also, Lydia from Understand Blue, she knows everything there is to know. She blows me away. I don't pay attention to the details or giving the artsy fartsy approach, like explaining. I don't even know what's in these, if it's highly pigmented in these markers. I just don't save my memory for that, and I'm kind of quirky. But Lydia, she knows all that. She knows everything. So she does some stuff for Picket Studios, and I sent her a picture of this, and I want to read to you what she said. She knows so much. She just blows me away. Okay, so she said, where is it? She said, quote, "Did you know that one of the secrets of the most famous oil painters is that they did underpaintings in red, like you did today," unquote. So I'm going to say that again. Did you know that one of the secrets of the most famous oil painters is that they did their underpaintings in red? Okay, so that's how smart she is. Well, I didn't even know that there was underpaintings, let alone that a secret that they did it in red. So actually I use pink and I think Festive Berries, but it comes off as red. And it doesn't matter, again, what color you use. So what Lydia said, I mean, she put the nail to the head, that you're picking up whatever it is you stamp in, you're picking up that color and it's mixing with the Tombow markers or whatever you decide to use. So get out those distress inks and stamp in them, and make sure you follow Lydia too. She's amazing. And I don't know how to link her up here, so please look her up. Lydia from Understand Blue. I'm sure most of you know her anyway. So she's pretty awesome. Like, that, just plain and simple. Enough on that. Okay, so I am doing the exact same thing on this petal. Notice that I'm hovering the brush in that darker area, that I'm going to rinse it, and then again bring up that clear water to, well, I didn't there, but I guess you just get a feel for how much is on the brush, how often you need to rinse it, and how wet you want to get it. So you just need to practice, but you can already see the colors coming together. Now the bottom half of this I'm trying to make darker, but I always end up getting darker. You can see I used some blue there, but I'm enjoying the process. I'm not overthinking it. So that's the end. I hope I just gave you a few little tips on using some markers and distress ink. One more thing, I had these leaves from an alt new card that I made, so I just stuck them behind the succulent. Thank you for watching, and a thumbs up if you like this. Have a great day.